The Amazing JoeJoe here with my web spinner, the absolute easiest way for any beginner to learn how to work with invisible thread, but don't let that statement fool you. This is also the most powerful system ever innovated. Inside the web spinner is some special string. It stretches right out from the tube. If you hold this string up to a light, you'll see it's made up of dozens of strands of individual fibers. Magicians call these fibers invisible thread because they're so thin they can't be seen under normal room lighting, yet they're still strong enough to support several grams of weight. To get started, pinch off a small bead of wax from the bottom of the spinner. It doesn't take much, just a small bead, and I'm going to place this on my thumbnail just for the moment to hold it. Now, the easiest way to do this is to hold the thread up to a blue sky at the window so that you can see it where it's most visible. You have to pinch out a single fiber, just one. Pull it out a couple of inches, and I'm going to wrap this single strand around that bead of wax. I'll fold the wax over again and do it a second time just to make sure it's in there good and tight and doesn't accidentally come off. Normally with invisible thread you have to strip it inch by inch by inch. It's a frustrating process and a lot of magicians simply give up. The web spinner is going to make it easy. Just simply hold the bead of wax up so that the web spinner is hanging off of the ground. It won't work if it's on the ground. You want to lift it up to take the tension, put tension onto the thread. Now with two fingers, one on each side of that single strand, I'm going to push the remaining strand straight down. No special skills or sleights required to do that. Even a child can do it. The web spinner makes it easy. I'm going to attach the bead of wax right here to the table. I'll push the remaining strands inside. Now just screw the cap back on. The cap is not going to break the thread. There's no tape or glue required. That is your anchor. I'm going to place the web spinner into my pocket, and we're going to float a dollar bill on that single strand. We have a strand going from the table to my pocket. First I'm going to fold the dollar in half. I'm going to do so by its width over top of that single strand. Now I'm going to lean forward as I fold it again a second time by its length. I'm going to lean forward and do that to put some slack on this side of the thread so I don't accidentally break it. The second fold will keep the dollar from sliding across the thread. I'll pinch each corner up and curl it up and kind of make it look like I'm crumbling it into a ball. Your audience should not see you making some kind of special fold. To their eyes, it should be just that you're crumbling this dollar bill up into a little ball. I'm going to do two things at once. I'm going to lower my left hand. At the same time, I'll lean my body back slightly to pick up that slack. I'll do that slowly because I don't want to get any bounce or motion. And I'll wiggle my fingers a little, and it'll create the illusion that the dollar bill is floating in mid-air. I'll wave each hand above it and below it a couple of times as a convincer. I like to pause, let the effect soak in for just a second. To take the dollar off, grab each end, one end with each hand, and just pull the dollar straight out. And one thing I like to do is spin it around a couple times and then drop it on the table. I don't like to hand it to someone. This is a little subtle motion that shows there's no strings on it. So it's just a little subtlety that I add. I'm going to do a time misdirection now. They're looking to see if I grab some kind of string, so I'm not going to just immediately go for the thread, no, for the wax. I'm going to shake their hands, thank them for watching. I'm going to do another trick, whatever I got to do, and when I get the chance, I'm just going to casually snatch that ball of wax off of the table. I'll then place it right here on my shirt tail, right there, and now I can walk to another table. And as I'm in the process of introducing myself and showing them a trick, I can just simply secure the wax on their table, and I can repeat the effect over and over and over again all night long. Another popular way to set up for the thread, instead of having to steal it off of the table, is to place it onto a deck of cards. Now you can take the cards, you can take them out, you can do a card trick, set the card case down, and you have that single strand going from the card case to your shirt pocket, so you're able to do your floating dollar bill. And now instead of having to steal the wax, you just casually pick your cards up and you can drop them right into your pocket. Now obviously you have to be a little careful that you don't break the thread when you're retrieving the cards from your pocket. The trick to this is to use your other hand. You'll notice here that I'm going to push the cards up in my pocket. Instead of reaching this hand down and pulling the cards out, I'm going to push the cards up so I can casually and carefully pull them out. And this thread will still be intact, and I can do this over and over and over again. And that's a little easier setup if you're not into the misdirection of stealing it off of the table itself. Another way to set up for this effect that's even easier is to use a glass. Just set your glass down on the table with the thread attached to it. Now you can do your floating dollar bill with the hookup. I find that a glass with cold liquid with ice in it does not, the wax freezes, it doesn't stick to the glass. So what you can do is attach it to the napkin that you got sitting under the glass, or a coaster if you're at a bar. Just carry the coaster with the glass on it. You can set it down, pick it up, and go from table to table with your hookup right there. Just another way to make it easier.